Right, so, talking of Kevin De Bruyne, Man City.
Manchester
Obviously news
City.
this week about their ban from the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Breaching financial fair play restrictions. I don't think it will get upheld. I think they'll be playing Champions League next season.
Do you reckon?
Yep.
I'm not so sure.
I think they'll be playing. They'll appeal it, and then UEFA will suspend it, pending another investigation or something like that.
Have you seen the reports about if they fail with their appeal, there is an extra year?
Is an extra year
to the ban or something like that?
I think it should be doubled.
There's another. I don't know if it is an extra. There's another consequence.
Yeah,
if they
fail.
fail.
You're right. The ban gets extended by a year if you fail. You lose your appeal.
Good.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a tough one. If it does get appealed, well, it is getting appealed. And I think we might have all seen the video of the lawyers walking up, and they've got about 40 lawyers just going to UEFA, and that is mad. But it's a ban for 2 years at UEFA competitions, £25 million fine.
It's nothing to Man City, though, is it?
It's nothing.
Although it is substantially bigger than the fines UEFA have previously put on clubs, which is a good sign.
Yeah. Is it a sign that it's stepping up and that UEFA are finally going to crack down on financial fair play issues? Or is it just another excuse for City to go, hang on, this is a bit too harsh. You can lower it down a little bit from this.
I think we all know, or we've all thought they've been breaking FFP for a long while. A fair few years.
Known it.
And I think UEFA have finally gone, right, you spent X amount on however many players. And I think it's historic.
Well, it wasn't that. It was. Do we all know how it came about?
It was the youth setup, wasn't it?
It was something to do with the youth setup. Yeah, I think it was So what happened was Manchester City declared money was coming in through a sponsor. However, through leaked emails, which were illegally hacked, and apparently, according to the Manchester City lawyers, taken out of context, basically their owner was putting the money in instead of the sponsor, which was going towards the youth setups and kind of helping with transfers and getting the massive Wilfried Bony between, I think it was 2012, 2016. And when you look at that, I think it's very good that UEFA are cracking down on the financial fair play, and I think we will see it for a fair few more clubs to come. I'm thinking PSG.
I think PSG today, their owner...
The owner's just been done with some corruption charges along with an ex-FIFA executive.
Yeah, bribery. Bribery charges.
It's not... The charges are not actually to do with PSG, they're to do with some World Cup.
Oh, okay.
Bribery.
Yeah. And he's just been pulled into it.
Yeah, he's been part of it, but the actual crime he has allegedly committed is not PSG based. However, you would think if they're looking at him for this, they'll go into him a bit deeper and probably find something wrong with the way PSG.
I think it's going to be difficult though, because obviously Manchester City and PSG have been investigated, but where these emails came, they were illegally leaked to, I think, Spiel.
It's the Spiegel, isn't it? Because there is a German student who runs like a football wiki thing.
Yep.
I can't remember what it's called. But he has a trusted journalist at the Spiegel. So if he finds anything like this, anything serious, anything dodgy, he can give it in confidence to the Spiegel, and they will report it. But yeah, I can't remember what the account's called, but millions of emails he sees every day, and it's just a student who wins it.
Yeah,
it's incredible. But yeah, that's probably where the emails will probably come from.
From what I've heard as well, I think because it was technically illegal hacking, he might face a little bit of jail time, which I think for taking down Man City is perfectly reasonable. I'd take 6 years in just for Man City not to win a Champions League under Pep Guardiola.
That might also help City's appeal massively.
Yeah, true.
Obviously, they shouldn't have been doing what they're doing, but if someone has committed the crime to show off their crime, then
yeah. And if you, as you say, it's like a student that's revealed it, maybe it gives a bit of incredibility to the sources, perhaps.
Yes. Although the Spiegel are quite an incredible source, aren't they? Yeah.
I mean, there was also the famous quote, Pep Guardiola saying, "Even if we're in League 2 next year, I'll still be here."
I can't see him staying until. I can't see him in charge next year.
I'll be honest. Even before the ban, I thought he would have left it.
Do you not think though that now the ban kind of forces him to stay? Because if he goes this summer, everyone's just going, "Oh, Pep, you fraud! You're just jumping ship when it gets difficult."
Yeah, but look what he's done at Man City, though.
Yeah, but then there's been all the criticisms again this year for no reason.
Yeah, but is he gonna do what he did at Bayern and Barca? He stayed a few years, did what he wanted to do, and then left.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, at the time of speaking, he's failed to win the Champions League with Man City. I think Real Madrid in the first knockout round is tough for him if they get.
That'd be a difficult one, but
they're not going to win the league. If they don't win the Champions League, is he like, right, I've done all I can?
I think we could see Pep Guardiola stay for 20 years, create a legacy, and build his whole squad around Phil Foden, who features for 5 minutes at the end of every League Two game for the next few years. To be fair, I think the League Two thing's it's a bit extreme.
Yeah.
I think what should happen instead is I don't think any titles should be given back.
Oh no.
Because A, that means Liverpool get more titles, and we don't want that. B, we can all say, oh yeah, City won those titles, but they cheated to get them. They don't mean nothing. We don't care about those seasons no more. They're fine. City won them, but they did it by cheating, and everyone can just use that argument to any City fan, if they ever exist. But instead, what I think should happen next year is we should have a point deduction.
I think that's what I'll do. I think it's similar. It's similar in a way to Saracens in rugby. It's that everyone wanted their title stripped of them, but they just got a massive points deduction. They're relegated in the Championship. They spend a year down there, and they come back up, and they'll keep their history. And I think that's what's going to happen in Man City. They'll start next season with minus 10, 20, whatever points the FA or feels appropriate.
I think it should be I think Lawrence McKenna said this the other day, and it's a very good point. It should either be the amount or half the amount between them and Liverpool at the end of this season. Should be the difference. Should be the points deducted. So we could see about 80 points taken down on that.
I mean, points deductions do seem to be the way forward at the moment. Obviously, there are a couple clubs in the Championship, obviously different governing body, but that are facing on, and they do just seem the way forward at the moment to punish people.
But I think even with minus 20 points, Man City will stay up next season.
Oh, 100%.
I think
probably still finish top 6.
Probably still finish.
Looking at the state of this Premier League season,
still finish with Arsenal.
Yes.
20 point head start, and we'll still finish with them. No, but we don't know what's going to happen with Man City. It was just an interesting point.
Yeah.
It certainly is, and they got a decent result last night.
They did.
Although the pictures of the fans, or lack of fans, at that game.
I think it was said there was 54,000 there. That's what Man City said.
I think a lot of the pictures are kind of. It's annoying to kind of seeing the ones like right behind the goal because they can be quite difficult to get hold of or pricey for some fans.
I saw a fake tweet that was supposedly from the Manchester City actual Twitter account that said the attendance was 1,000. So someone was having some fun last night. But
could be believed. Who knows?
You look at the bottom tier and it's not far off.
But
maybe they would fit in with League Two.
unless it's under. I saw something saying that they didn't attend because they're under protest. I don't understand because it's not like they aren't used to playing midweek football.
True.
I mean, they will be playing Wednesday night football.
They'll be playing. Well, they won't be having that much midweek football for the next few years.
No, but they're playing Real Madrid in the Champions League.
No, yeah.
So what's different between that and West Ham? I know in terms of quality, but I mean it's not like it's we can't get there on a Wednesday night because we work.
I do feel like it might be that maybe it was just a low attendance and maybe the pictures were a bit misleading, and then people turn around and go, "Oh, we were protesting." Yeah, that's why. When really it could just be a random low attendance game because I think West Ham isn't the most enticing game for most people to go to. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to it anyways, but it could just be a random anomaly for low fans.
Maybe. It's a difficult one, isn't it? It's hard to...
Yeah, 100%.
Just quickly before we move on, I've just found, looking on football web pages, the supposed attendances for City's games, and most of the league games are 54,000. However, their cup game against Fulham was supposedly 39,000.
That's a big drop.
But was it even 39,000?
Reportedly. I don't know. I feel like...
But, they first game of the season against Tottenham, supposedly... Well, was that first game of the season? For them?
No.
Well, it's the first game. It's the first game that's got recorded on here. And it says 54,000.
Okay.
The next 3 or 4 after that were also 54,000. So
Maybe
I mean,
they do have a 55,000 capacity.
Oh, but that looked nowhere near sold out when you see the pictures.
But I think
now I'm
but
split on this.
they base that on season tickets, don't they? They don't base that on.
True.
They don't base that on who goes through the
Fans through the
turnstiles.
door. Yeah.
They assume every season ticket holder goes to every single game, and then add on gate receipts.
So I was trying to look for the one for West Ham, but it doesn't have it up yet. But,
Fair.
yeah.
I've looked. It says a lot says unknown. So difficult one to say. So talking of Man City Champions League, Premier League, interesting week in terms of results. We tried to predict a couple of games last week. Sam didn't do as well. Said Belport would beat Workswap. They lost. Said
I got a few right. I said.
To be fair, he did say Danny Ings would score, and if anyone put a fiver on that, he did all right.
And I did say it, and I didn't put a 5 on it. So
Yep.
that's
Sounds a lot like his bet.
So obviously Man City beat West Ham 2-0 last night. Spurs last minute winner against West Ham 3-2, and Arsenal convincingly beat Newcastle 4-0 at the weekend, ending a run of 4 straight Premier League draws.
Yeah, and then the Saturday games.
How good must that have felt?
Saturday games, Liverpool won quickly.
Yep.
Not too convincingly, by the way. I watched that game and I thought Norwich played quite well for 60, 70
I was
minutes.
following it on Twitter, and a lot of people were saying Liverpool just kind of hanging in.
Yeah.
Substitute Mane got the goal.
But the biggest game of the weekend was a 2-1 win for Burnley away at Southampton.
Oh, I think we're going to have a big debate on what's the biggest game of the weekend.
And Danny Ings, yeah, he may have scored, but did you see him let that one in like the first, literally like the first few minutes of the game? 3rd minute, he was supposed to clear it, just left it, went straight past the keeper. All I want to say is clout it through and through. Anyway, go on.
Got facing his former club. I think you were right about the Danny Ings goal, which is very impressive, but it was one of those where he scored again. Danny Ings, should he be considered for England?
I mean, if I've heard Rashford and Kane, well, Rashford's not going to play now till the end of the season.
I heard that about Rashford.
Kane, we still don't know.
Kane, I've heard, will come back for the last 2 games in the season. And then...
But Mourinho yesterday in the wake of defeat said he wants it to be July 1st because they will have all of his players back, and including Harry Kane in that. So do we know that? We don't know the full extent, obviously.
No.
I think it's an interesting point about the England squad. We play obviously Italy at the end of next month, end of March. I think Ings would definitely be in that squad. I think whether he makes the Euros.
Yeah, well, who else is there? Obviously you'll take Tammy Abraham.
Yeah.
Who else will go? Is the real question. That's
Sterling, Sancho.
But they're not strikers, are they? You need a man up front, don't you?
Could play Sterling at strike.
I think Calvert-Lewin, Sterling could play.
Calvert-Lewin will be one.
Shout.
Yeah, he will go quite often, I think.
Yep. So, yeah, England squad. I think we'll probably dedicate a whole podcast to that nearer to the friendlies and nearer to the Euros.
But yeah, Liverpool hanging in against Norwich. I honestly thought for a hot second that Liverpool's run could come to an end.
We watched it with a few of us that watched it, and we weren't too
convinced by their performance. Yeah.
Poor week for them, it seems.
Yeah, because they lost 1-0 to Madrid as well.
Mm-hmm.
We got Leipzig Spurs right. We said Leipzig,
and they ran all over them, didn't they? As well, I said that they ran awful.
I was going to say we were also right in Dortmund PSG being the most entertaining game, but I think Atalanta smashing Valencia 4-1.
Yeah, plays out of the water.
It's always the least profile game, isn't it?
It is. It always makes it more fun, more interesting. But yeah, going back to the Premier League.
Yes.
Arsenal 4, Newcastle 0.
Yes.
As an Arsenal fan, the feelings. Please tell me, enlighten me. How good was Saka? Pepe finally scored his 3rd goal.
Saka's immense, honestly. Saka, for a left winger to be playing left back,
Yep.
and dominating Lazaro, who's on loan from Inter Milan, who legendary European football team. I think he ran the show. I think he was man of the match.
Very hotly talked about after the game.
Yeah.
He was very high praise. I saw in him and Aubameyang kind of having a good time. Is the spirit back at Arsenal?
I don't know if the spirit's back.
It's only a game, but
I think you could say it's only Newcastle, but then there's not much difference in the league at the start of the game. There's only a few points in it, if any at all. I don't know. I think it's not like we haven't won recently. We beat Bournemouth in the cup. We beat Leeds Man United at the start of January. It was obviously the Sheffield United draw, the Burnley draw, the Palace draw. It was games that is not when you feel you should be winning.
Yep.
I think it's a hard one to say whether it's going to change our season. I think the Man City news might kick them into gear. I don't know.
It's a good incentive. If
I think
get that fifth spot now.
Everton at the week. I don't think we're getting fifth. I think there's.
I don't know.
It's hard. It hurts to say that, but Leicester, Sheffield United, Everton, Wolves, are all better than us this season.
Manchester United.
United obviously above us.
Yep.
I think they're more likely candidates. I think Everton at the weekend will be a real test because Everton under Ancelotti have been in good form.
Yeah, true.
So I think that's what's gonna be the test. I think tonight we'll be obviously playing Olympiacos, missing a few players. I don't know. I think obviously it'd be nice to have a run in the Europa League, nice to win it. But I think I said last week, as an Arsenal fan, for the first time ever, I think I might be content with not having European football next season.
Not having really?
You're
happy with doing a Man City?
I think commercially it's going to be a disaster, but I think without that, without distractions, it might just seem right. Let's take a season to rebuild. We can have fun in the cups. We can see where we go. Obviously, we'd love to be in Champions League. I'd love to win the Europa League and get back to Champions League football. But if it came to it, and we didn't have European football, I wouldn't necessarily be too disheartened.
If you don't have European football next season, do you keep players like Aubameyang, like Lacazette, or do you not care if you don't keep them?
I think it depends on what their situation is, how they feel under Arteta.
I would say you keep Aubameyang just because he won't go anywhere.
I don't know.
He's
I feel
coming
like
towards the end of his career.
he's got 1 year left on his contract next season.
Yeah, he's got less than 18 months. I
Could
think
be the last chance to sell.
I think he's still got one big move left in him. I think he's got to move. He's either going to go somewhere in Italy, like Inter Milan, who are seemingly.
Mate, he'd tear up Italy. The speed of those defences. Although the only problem with Italy is the speed of the defences. He would absolutely tear apart. However, the teams may be sitting back a little bit off of an Inter Milan and relying on kind of slower football. Don't know if he'd suit it, but chuck him at Real Madrid.
I think Real Madrid. I
Real Madrid would be
think
massive.
he made a promise to his grandfather that he'd play for Real Madrid one day.
True.
And I think there might still be a Real Madrid move left in him.
I reckon they'd take him.
Won't happen.
No?
No.
What about Bayern Munich? The former Borussia Dortmund man. Him and Lewin up top.
I think it would make more sense for us to sell Lacazette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a more sense of a transfer.
You'd probably get more money as well.
More money. I think he's a good player, but I think it gives you a lot more freedom with people to work with around him. Aubameyang's still
having both of them. When we signed Aubameyang in January, the summer after we signed Lacazette, I think everyone was delighted.
Hadn't quite worked out.
They've got a great relationship on the pitch, off the pitch, but you can't play them both up front in the system we've played.
Yeah.
And Aubameyang doesn't favour playing on the wing, and I think
you've only got space for one striker.
I'd have one striker, and I'd sell Lacazette, and I'd bring in left winger, whether that be Lamar, it may be a part exchange, whether that be I don't know. I'd love someone like Lamar or Guedes or someone like that.
Yeah, bit of pace.
Not neither realistic considering both of their teams are in European football. But I think that's what I'd do if we don't get European football.
Draw the Premier League, bring him here. But moving on to the actual biggest game of the weekend, the most controversial game. Well, it's not really the weekend; it was the Monday. But Manchester United beat Chelsea 2-0.
Yes. At
Stamford Bridge, and I tell you, I have never had more fun watching a football game in my life.
I think it obviously reignites the VAR debate.
It does. But should it?
I think it was harsh to rule out.
Okay, I think
to rule out the Brandon Williams push, or was it a push?
Well,
Fred Aspilicueta.
Okay, so there's a couple of tough VAR decisions in the game. There's does Fred push the best left back in the world according to Sam Collins.
Yeah.
As per the club.
Yeah.
There's something that happened first though. Harry Maguire should not have been on the pitch. Therefore, Man United shouldn't have had a second goal.
Look, I think a red card maybe would have been fair, but also in the moment when I saw it, and even after the replay, I went, "Oh, I don't know if he's actually put up on purpose."
I said
After the
red card.
game, I look up at it, and
It's
I think
a
maybe red.
kick. He falls back and then he moves his leg and he kicks him.
Yes.
I actually missed that moment in the game.
Oh, okay.
I think I'd gone to make a tea or something. I actually missed that specific moment of the game, but I looked it back and from my first view, I thought, yeah, that's probably. But then I watched it back on Twitter with the perfect angle for it to be a red card, and I didn't see it in the moment of the game. But from
Is
what
that
I
VAR
saw,
kind of failing at that then? Should he have been off
But
the pitch?
it's for me. Obviously, VAR has been billed as a clear and obvious error. That when you're in Stockley Park, whoever is the VAR official has seen 6, say, different angles of that, and if the referee's missed it, that's what VAR should come in and say, take a look at the screen.
Yes.
Red
exactly.
card is
Screen should be
subjective.
brought into it.
We disagree in somewhat here, saying in the moment, is it when you look at replay, does that give you a better angle, an unfair angle?
Yeah.
But someone at Stockley Park is watching 6 different angles with that live.
Yeah.
At that point, should come in and say to the referee that I think you should have a look at that. I think it's a red card. You've not
100%.
seen it. You've not given it.
Yeah, the screen should definitely be brought in because I think they're.
It's been one. He's
As
one
much as
to
it
the
would
Premier
hurt
League.
to say it as a Manchester United fan, if you do look at the screen in that situation, I think Harry Maguire is leaving the field and doesn't score his absolute bullet header to make him one of the best English centre-backs of our generation.
So to Chelsea's, who was it? Zuma's goal that was disallowed.
Yes, from the corner.
I think that was harsh.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
I
I
also
see
think
that.
that was quite harsh.
Aspilicueta does push or grab Brandon Williams, but I think
It was weird. It was one of those moments in the game where I saw it, and I feel kind of bad because I feel like Zuma, he celebrated, but I would have expected so much more of a celebration, and I think VAR did kill that moment there.
I think if that goes in, that doesn't change the result of the game.
Do you not?
No.
I feel like it gives Chelsea a bit more confidence.
Because Chelsea going forward, they just couldn't
They
finish
were
any
absolutely
chances.
terrible.
They were awful.
I think Batshuayi was terrible.
Batshuayi, one of the
Batshuayi
worst
was
striker performances
awful,
as a whole. Yeah.
awful.
I think going forward, Chelsea have something. I think obviously next season Ziyech will bring something. Pulisic back. I think it will give them something.
You'd have Tammy Dwelly.
I think it's hard to say Chelsea were bad going forward because they created chances. Batshuayi just can't finish.
That final
Yeah.
ball or that final chance. Yeah.
And then the whole game, I think everyone was talking about, does Giroud change it? Does Giroud change it? And then he comes on and he scores, and he does change it
For it to be disallowed.
for it to be disallowed.
It was offside.
It was offside.
By the letter
VAR
of the law, it
gives
was
it as
offside. But that goal would stand under Arsene Wenger's newly proposed offside rule.
Which is absolutely
yeah, I'm
stupid.
sorry, I'm not having that.
I agree as well. I think.
So, just to clarify, Arsene Wenger's new rule.
It's if one part of your body is in line with the defender, therefore onside, that you can score with, and the rest is off, it's onside.
It's onside. So it'd mean kind of a trailing toenail could still keep a player onside.
I'll have my whole body, but I'll point my toe back.
Yeah.
And then I'll have my ankle in line with Van Dijk, and I'm onside.
I just think, why change the offside rule now? Why implement VAR and then think, do you know what, let's change the old rule? Why not just change how we use VAR in that instance?
To be fair, I don't think it is VAR.
I don't think even VAR needs changing.
I don't think VAR is the issue. I think the offside rule is the issue.
Really?
But I don't think
I think
Arsene Wenger's way of fixing it is the right way.
I think it's getting the advantage thing, because you look back at the Wolves game last week. Pedro Neto, I think it was, doesn't gain advantage. He's going backwards. He's going away from the ball. He receives the ball, but he's going back. He's not going. He's going away from the ball. He's going.
But was he offside?
Yes, he was offside.
Yes, he was offside.
By letter of the law.
That's it.
But he doesn't gain an. I think gaining the advantage is the interesting point.
I don't know. I feel like the thing is that you implement Wenger's new rule, and then the striker's got too much of an advantage.
Strikers take the mick out of it, 100%.
Exactly. I mean, it's just. I feel like offside rule. A lot of people kind of their problem with VAR is it too late to the law? Is it like should we be measuring millimetres? Does that matter? And I think if you're going to have VAR, you either say, yes, we're using VAR for offsides, so yes, you follow it, letter to the law. Or you just say, no, we're not using VAR for offsides. Because at what point does it become clear and obvious as well?
I think having the linesman and the flagging rules doesn't make sense either. Because, again, Arsenal fan, there was a game last week, it wasn't the Newcastle game, it was the game before. Aubameyang's onside, and he's given offside. Because he's given offside before he can score, it can't go to VAR.
Oh, right.
Okay. He was onside. I can't remember the exact.
Aren't they told now to play on if the linesman puts the flag on?
The linesman flag and the referee's blown because
okay.
he's seen the linesman flag.
Yeah.
And obviously, just confusion in the moment, and that can't then go to VAR because
it's a tough one.
Because the play stopped and the game's been resumed.
I mean, we could sit and debate this for hours.
Literally.
I think the rule that needs to change is the handball rule.
The handball rule
has to
go.
Because
two of us here are referees as well. Are you a referee as well?
I'm not qualified coach, but not a ref.
Okay. So,
I'm not one
even at... I don't know if you've done any games this year since been a derby. I've done a few. And the handball rule, even at that level, for under-12s football is horrible.
If it accidentally bounces off your arm and you score from that, it's ridiculous that that's given the tackle. Anyway, you're right. I think Man United Chelsea was a game that obviously reignited every debate. Chelsea were doing well in terms of position, better than Man United. Probably weren't on the best form.
But team-wise, Manchester United is still better. But hey, it does push both teams forward.
Is Lampard in danger?
No.
Why should he be?
Absolutely not.
I don't think he should be.
I don't think he should be, but
actually, I don't know.
If he doesn't finish top 4, is Abramovich just going to go, right, we tried it didn't work, let's bring in someone experienced?
I'll tell you why he's not, because Abramovich has taken a step back. He's only said that because he can't enter the country. So, if there is one manager on this earth that would cause Chelsea to change their style when it came to winning a football club, it would be Frank Lampard.
True.
He is the one man, maybe John Terry. They're the two men that would stop Chelsea from sacking a manager every other bloody month and actually stick with them for a long period of time. And you've got Lampard. He came in with a bit of a situation, transfer ban. He's dealt with it well. Ziyech's a great signing.
100%.
I think there's a lot of positives. This year has not just been a downer for Chelsea, it's been a downer for most clubs. So I think Chelsea will look at that as well and go, well, we're not the only ones doing awful here. There are other clubs that we're competing with that aren't doing. Are
they doing awfully though?
And I don't think they are. I think they're doing better than both of your sides.
I agree. I think for where they are in the league, and if you look at their squad, it does quite well by them. Considering players like Mason Mount, was Tammy Abraham still playing in the Championship for a bit of last season? I want to say up till January, and then he moved on somewhere else.
Was he at Villa last season?
For a little bit, I think. I want to say, or maybe for the whole thing.
He was at Villa for the whole thing because he scored. Because he scored in the playoffs. Semi-final.
Yeah. So you had players playing the Championship level last season, and now they're in 4th. Yeah. And it's you got to look at that squad and think.
I think they'll take 4th spot as well. I think they'll take that 4th spot. I think now Tottenham have got Kane and Son out.
I think it's either them or.
There's a lot of spaces for Europe considering Messi's ban, and if the way cups work out or whatever. I think they'll get Europe. I don't think he'll be sacked. I just think it's an interesting point because obviously Abramovich and Chelsea historically want success, and Conte won the league and the next season got sacked. So,
and then Chelsea moving forward as well. They got Spurs next. If we move on to the Premier League previews next weekend.
Beautiful transition there, James.
Oh, I'm so good. Natural.
I can imagine that being
Mourinho back at the bridge.
I can see it being a dud game,
What? Okay, do you know what? Yeah.
Do you know what? I have to agree with him.
Giroud could come on.
It's getting this hype two semi-form teams.
Both without their key attacking players.
No strikers of real quality.
I mean, you look at Mourinho's quote. I think he said playing against Leipzig was like having a gun with no bullets.
Yeah.
And what can you do in that Spurs side if you've got... He was saying about the fitness of his players. They've been running to the ground. There's players in that squad that are just like dead men walking in a way of... They've just been completely outrun all season. They've had a tough year so far. I mean, you take out Kane and Son, for the whole season. You take Kane Son out of this game, it's very tough to see how Spurs do. But at the same time, you take out Tammy Abraham from Chelsea. Did Chelsea really stand too much of a chance after that 2-0 at United? It was poor finishing.